Parliament.
Wid Yi?
I finally got to see my GP on Tuesday. I showed him this nasty rash I have in my bollocks, and he just ignored me and carried on pushing his trolley around Tesco. I'm actually unsure if he meant to pick up that 4-pack of spotted dick. Welcome back to Wid Yi, folks.
Episode 20-something. Now, I have a widget in front of me already because if you caught the end of last week's episode...
He didn't read it out.
There's a very bloody good reason. So the widget...
He was going to drown.
The widget was, would you read another widget with a mouthful of water?
But instead of reading it out, he just...
To be fair... I don't fancy spitting my load, but, you know.
He just about spat a load all over me.
Right, the reason I couldn't actually read this, and I'm probably going to struggle to do it now, I don't have a gob full of water, so...
You can now ask me the widget, I suppose, but the widget was... The widget wasn't something like, would you stick a bean up your Jap's eye? No. It was this big, long,
somehow even
piece,
worse.
some long-ass thing with some fucked-up situation, but...
If you're listening on YouTube, it's in front of you just now. If you're not listening on YouTube, you're going to want to jump over, because this genuinely was written and folded up. I was sitting thinking, when I've got to read this with a mouthful of water, it's going to be something short and sweet, like, you know, would you run up Union Street backwards, bollock naked?
Something like that.
Something stupid.
But we took it randomly out of the hat, and this is what came.
And it was genuinely random.
What's the widget?
Would you jack off Rick? I can't even say this without a mouthful of water. Would you jack off Jacob Rees Mogg?
No.
Steal his sperm? My God, can you imagine me with water? This would have lasted 10 seconds.
Well, this is actually turning into like some sort of like real convoluted complex plan. I mean, you can't just walk up to Jacob Rees Mogg and jack him off. You've got to plan this shit.
I mean, he's a giant tosser, but still. Would you jack off Jacob Rees Mogg, steal his sperm, merge it with an egg from Anne Widdecombe to see if the Tory... Oh, for fuck's sake. The Tory test tube babies are
What the fuck?
are naturally evil. Well, of course they are.
Right,
They're Tories.
wait. So, are you suggesting that I create a test tube baby with Anne Widdecombe, her egg, and Jacob Rees Mogg's sperm?
Which you have to harvest yourself.
I have to harvest this and procure it myself.
There's more.
Right.
So you're creating an evil Teletubby, basically.
Right.
For £1 million.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Right, can I get a pen and paper here? Hang on. Jacob Rees Mogg.
This is like a shopping list.
Yeah. Anne Widdecombe egg.
You don't have to extract that, you just have to get the jizz.
Well,
We're letting you off lightly.
Right, okay, so the egg is going to be with me. My pen's broken, sorry. Someone's going to procure this egg for me, but they can't procure Jacob Rees Mogg's jizz.
Well, maybe while you're relieving him of his jizz, he's relieving Anne Widdecombe.
I don't like this one bit.
How do you think I feel the last couple of weeks with my parents being WhatsApp your wages?
There was an episode of South Park where Mr. Mackey and Miss Chokesondick had sex. That's exactly the way I could picture this out. This really skinny man with and then you've got Miss Chokesondick, this big fat lady with the massive boobs that just sag down to her knees. Hi kids, are you going to stop doing that? Stop being a little shit.
Well, there's more to your widget of doom. So how far have you got with your little list?
Right, I've got Jacob Rees Mogg's jizz, Anne Widdecombe egg, stick in blender.
If it survives, is it evil? Yes.
Stick in blender, make evil baby.
Question mark, because you don't know that it's going to be evil. That's part 2, 3 and 4 of this
evil
widget.
Test tube baby.
Make evil test tube baby?
Make evil test tube baby? Right, what's
so that's parts 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B and C of your widget. You get £1 million for it.
Right.
But part 5 of the widget, you must use this money to conduct your research. Reward is whatever's left.
Oh.
So basically...
So I'm going to get £1 million before I even say yes or no to this.
Yes. However, you then have to spend that money. It's ring-fenced.
I actually think this is more a semen donor and an egg donor.
Do you think in years to come, if this is successful, to have shops like Cash for Jizz? You get cash for clothes.
So is that when you go like jizz in a test tube? You take it to like one of those cash for fucking gold shops, but
The guy licks his finger and
well,
goes,
he licks his finger. He puts his spooge in between his thumb and his forefinger and lets it sort of like become this sort of web thing, and it sags.
It's not Ghostbusters.
And he looks. He says, "It's like ectoplasm. You've got some real good quality jizz here. I'll give you 30p for the lot."
It's about all Jacob Rees Moggs is worth. But anywho, you get £1 million. This funds your research. You have to basically get the blender out, make an evil baby, question its evil intentions.
To be honest, I can do that for 20 quid. I'll just keep the 998,900 and however much I'll be left after £1 million. So at 20 quid, I'll just put it all in a blender and I'll sink it to the bottom of the river. Because we all know this test tube baby's going to be evil.
Wid Yi.
You know, I was watching a video on YouTube last night.
Should you really be talking about this? Is this safe?
No, it's not safe. There's a channel I follow called Abandoned. Have you heard of them?
I have. That seems to be doing the rounds up here just now.
Well, it's not the first time they've been up here. But have you seen their latest video?
Is this the one where they go down to the beach leisure centre?
It is.
I love that video. It's so good.
It's good, but you want to know it's so depressing at the same time. I mean, that was a happy place for me as a child, and a happy place for me when I was a slightly older teenager ogling MILFs. But
yes, amongst your many pastimes, looking at mothers you'd like to.
Yeah, take to dinner. Yeah. Anyway, no, it has many, many memories for me, and seeing it just looking this haunted, abandoned, derelict swimming pool, still in decent condition, kind of sad, if you know what I mean.
I was past it last week and I noticed they've got all the hoarding and the Harris fencing up because they are starting to rip it out now. But yeah, these two guys came up from Liverpool and they absolutely put us to shame.
Yeah. I find it weird. Two guys from Liverpool go in and explore videos and they make a fortune on YouTube.
Yeah.
Quite rightly so. Their channel's really good, to be honest with you. But they were up here under 2 years ago doing the Bonaccord baths.
I remember this one, yeah.
So in 2 years, you've got two guys from Liverpool come up and say how shit our council are. This I find funny, and well, I find it funny. I don't at the same time. I've got nothing against Liverpudlians for the record.
Yeah.
But they seem to be the butt of many jokes.
They're like the English version of Dundee,
Yeah, so I mean, you get all these jokes. What do you call a BMW in Liverpool? Stolen. And my Liverpudlian next door neighbour had a new trampoline in his garden. I said, "Where'd you get it from?" And he said, "Oh, I found it on the internet." And I said, "Oh, what website was it?" Google Earth. You know, it's jokes like that.
Yeah.
They're the butt of it. I'm sorry they are the butt of it, but I don't always agree with it. I don't mind. I've got some Liverpudlian friends and they're fine. But it kind of puts it in perspective. They're seen as Britain's toilet and they're telling us that our council aren't doing a good job of looking after the city.
They make some really good points, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Aberdeen Beach Leisure Centre opened in about 1989. It's within my lifetime.
I'm older than that building.
Yeah, we're both older than the building. Now, fair enough, it's at that midlife point where if this was a car or a bus or a lorry, you'd send it off to get a lick of paint, get the seats redone, put some new wheels, give it another MOT, all that shite.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, and you'd be like, right, well, it's maybe good for another 10 years. Our council have this habit of shutting things down just now. We can't afford to do this. Swimming pools and libraries seem to be the thing they've got an absolute boner for.
Oh, they love shutting down swimming pools and libraries.
I don't understand why. They've shut down.
I understand why they shut down libraries. Who goes to a library? You just buy your books from Amazon now, don't you?
Well, kind of.
Yeah, so what's the point of a library?
The swimming pools they're shutting.
You can't go on Amazon to a swimming pool.
Give Jeff Bezos 10 minutes, he'll figure out a way of making it happen. No, but the thing is, the swimming pools they're shutting down, the Bonaccord baths, aka the Uptown baths, depending on your generation. Now, thankfully, there's a campaign group who are trying to get them reopened. They seem to be doing great work. Brilliant. They then shut down the Bucksburn swimming pool, which was only built maybe, 10, 15 years ago? It's a reasonably new building.
I have it in my head, it was about 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean...
It wasn't anything fancy, it was just a swimming pool.
It needed some new tiles, but they went, let's shut it down. Massive public outcry, they let it go to rack and ruin, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, fine, we'll reopen it, it's going to fucking cost you. Well, maybe you shouldn't have shut it in the first place, you twats.
Well, looking at that video of the Beach Leisure Centre, the pool looks in good nick. I'm not a builder, but it looks like in good nick.
The lockers are missing, and it's funny that after Scousers visiting, something's missing. Not putting out there, but, did they come up in a van?
I will be honest with you. it seemed to be already missing by the time they got there.
In fairness, it did. But the point we're trying to make is the Beach Leisure Centre basically needs a bit of a tart-up.
Not much, to be honest with you. It needs a wee bit of modernising.
Yeah.
But the Flume Tower, what I saw there, it needs a lot of work. A lot of damp seems to be getting into it, etc.
But
that's nothing a builder can't fix.
Our council have this really bad habit of wasting money that they don't actually have. It's like a Labour mentality. To fuck with it, let's just imagine we have money for something we don't need and can't afford. It's like the Christmas Village.
Oh, yeah.
Why isn't the Christmas Village
at
in Union Terrace Gardens?
Yeah, they put it in that shitey wee Broad Street.
Yeah, Broad Street.
Broad Street, yeah. I get mixed up between that and the Denburn all the time.
It's fucking ridiculous. They've got basically nothing there, but they've crammed somehow all this nothingness into one of the busiest thoroughfares in town.
Oh, yeah.
And
can I just go all Mitchell's Kebab Shop on them for a wee minute?
Are we going to leave a Google review on Aberdeen City Council?
Yeah, let's leave a Google review on their shitty Christmas market.
I might be getting banned from the council HQ again. I got married in right, this is true. I got married in Marshall College.
How did that work out for you?
Pretty fucking disastrously. But on our wedding day, because I already had a habit about bitching about the council, my ex-wife's like, there's going to be like a picture of you like Kim Jong-un as we go in the council building and you're going to get fucking banned. We actually genuinely thought I wasn't going to get into Marshall College on our wedding day. I wish they had banned me with the power of hindsight.
It might have worked a wee bit better for you, and you wouldn't have thought at the time, but still.
But the point we're trying to make is like our administration I think they're on the glue. They keep wasting money on things we don't need, don't want, and they won't actually tell us how much these little vanity projects cost.
Can I just stop you there a wee minute? I've just had a great idea this very minute.
Is this a good idea or is it a terrible idea pretending to be a good idea?
It could be a good idea pretending to be a terrible idea, but it turns out to be a shit hot idea.
Come on, then.
You want to run for council?
Why?
Why not? Put it this way, you get paid for doing nothing as a councillor. You get about 60 grand a year for being a councillor. You get LEZ zone exemption.
Do you?
You do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're an important person that wears a suit for a living.
Why?
Tells everyone that you're flat broke. You buy yourself a 3-litre BMW and you've got an LEZ exemption ticket. So you can take your gas guzzler and just drive through Aberdeen like it's 1999.
To be fair, I'd do it for the low emission zone ticket on its own.
Wid Yi.
I always feel like everyone who wants to get into politics...
It's not about the people, it's about benefiting themselves.
If you want to get into politics, you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some genuine, honest politicians out there.
Name them.
Tommy Sheridan.
Name them.
Tommy Sheridan.
Name them.
Tommy Sheridan.
The last person to enter Parliament with honest intentions was Guy Fawkes.
Fucking hell.
I genuinely don't feel like anybody who, on most levels of politics, who wants to get into politics is doing it because they feel they're going to enrich our lives or make us better. And I extend that all the way to the gutter politics.
No, you're absolutely right, to be honest with you. Not an honest one among the lot of them.
I mean, Ian Newell, who's one of the head honchos of this new administration we have in Aberdeen, right?
You said head.
His Facebook updates, right? Genuinely, I swear to God, if I was to go on Facebook now and look up Ian Newell, the councillor, all he seems to post about is, I've got a bus stop cleaned this week.
I filled a pothole in. Did you actually fill the pothole in? Or did you get one of your minions to do it for you?
I just kind of feel like these are like the absolute bare minimum job requirements for a serving councillor. What happened to actually enriching the town centre and encouraging people to come through? Because the whole low emission zone, we've ranted on about it plenty, but it's an absolute clusterfuck.
Nobody wants to come to Aberdeen anymore.
No.
It's as simple as that.
But they're running all these press campaigns and it's like, please come to Aberdeen. Did you know we've got 200 plus independent shops in town? Bollocks.
No, you've got 200 plus independent shops, 199 of which are closed down.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Before we get waylaid any longer, let's get a fucking widget done. Widget, eat 900 oranges in a row, 5 grand.
How long would eating 900 oranges take?
I don't know. I mean, I don't particularly like eating oranges. I like orange juice. I like orange flavour.
Well, are they Terry's chocolate oranges or the actual oranges?
It just says 900 oranges.
900 oranges.
It doesn't say chocolate oranges, so I'm going to work on the assumption this is from the fruit and veg aisle.
Right. Okay, right. I've got a quick query for you.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm going to... How much was the monetary value again, sorry?
£5,000.
£5,000.
Are you going to work out the hourly rate for this?
No, well, how long would it take you to eat 900 oranges? You're going to turn into the Tango Man here by the time you're finishing it.
You look a bit like Donald Trump.
I look nothing like Donald Trump. I'm the exact opposite of Donald Trump, thank you for... Excuse me.
Thank you for not burping.
I'm very sorry. I've had a can of iron brew and it's biting me back a wee bit.
Oh, how the tables have turned. The thing is, you're saying you don't look like Donald Trump. 900 oranges down the line.
I might look like Donald Trump.
Maybe it's not fake tan after all.
Maybe, well, let's face it. When was the last time Donald Trump ate fruit or veg? Right.
$5,000, 900 oranges in a row. I mean, it's not saying...
Right, here's an idea. 900 oranges in a row. Do I just have to sit and constantly eat them? Or can I eat 900 in a row but pace them through the day and eat nothing but oranges?
Well, that's my...
until the 900's gone. So, for
that's
example...
my understanding, yeah.
I could have 5 oranges for my breakfast, 10 for my lunch, 20 for my dinner, and 3 before I go to bed.
That still leaves about 850.
Right, so I've got to do that until I've eaten all 900 oranges.
Yeah.
Now, would you allow that, or do I have to just sit and go 1, hump, 2, hump, 3, like Full Hand Luke when he's eating the 50 hard-boiled eggs at stuff?
I think if you want Full Hand Luke, you'd be dead in a couple of hours. So I think you're allowed, for the purposes of not killing yourself, I think you're allowed to pace. But it does mean no kebab, no chips, no pizza. It's going to be oranges.
But I'm getting paid $5,000 for this.
You game?
And I reckon I could do it in a couple of weeks. Medically, what would happen if I ate nothing but oranges?
Well, you'd look like Donald Trump, that's a cert.
For $5,000. At least I look like a celebrity.
What's up, your Wid Yi? Who are you, Freddie Mercury? Hey-o.
Hey-o. Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. All right.
This could be the best bloody show ever. Hey-o.
Yeah, if it was done back in 1985, definitely, yeah.
We just had Bohemian Rhapsody about 5-6 years ago, and it was alright. The film, I don't mean the song.
No, I know.
Would you get a Prince Albert piercing without pain relief and then do 20 jumping jacks with no support, so you don't have any like plasters or anything on your piercing to support it, for £550?
Right, so Prince Albert, that's the one on your Jap side.
Yeah.
£550, no pain relief, and then we have to do some jumping jacks. What kind of fucking sadist is this Claire woman?
Well, she's from Paisley.
Well, that's explains it. Alright there, mate.
Alright there.
Can I pierce your Jap's eye?
We don't take pain relief for nothing.
We just give you the pain.
We give you the milky.
I'm really not sure I like the sound of this one. Saying that, it's slightly more palatable than the last couple of WhatsApp Your Widges we've had.
Well, it just seems, I don't know why, we just dig him out of the hat, and it just so happens you seem to be the one that seems to get the brunt of it most of the time. And every time it's been, would you fuck your parents doing this, or would you fuck your parents doing that?
Would you watch your parents fucking?
Would you watch your parents fucking? Would you clean your dad's dick after he's dipped your maw, or something like that? But this is actually quite tame in comparison. This is a pain one.
Claire's obviously been following along with a degree of, oh, poor you.
Poor Martyn.
Poor Martyn.
Right, instead of humiliating him sexually, let's humiliate him sexually with a Prince Albert.
I mean, I don't think it's a good idea at the best of times to then do it without any kind of pain relief and any kind of support afterwards, and then engage in exercise, which I'm not a fan of at the moment.
I'll be honest with you, you can literally call yourself a sexy stud.
I could do, but I'm not gonna.
Wid Yi.
Comfortable. Slightly creepy. Comfortable. You're like that person that does the AMSR shit on TikTok. Do you ever watch them? The people.
No, I've never ever been on TikTok in my entire life.
They do this thing, right? And they have this nervous tick that goes, and then they.
Oh wait, is that nutter that goes like rubbing pencils and shit like that?
There's loads of them. They seem to be spreading.
Why? They'll maybe just take like a tin of a top of a can of iron brew and go.
And they all seem to have like long nails.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
But they're obviously using a backing track. If you sit and watch them...
No, I don't watch them.
Some of them are using backing tracks. They're fucking cheats.
It's actually kind of ironic. I'm sitting here doing a podcast. We put a bit of thought into this podcast.
2 weeks? Since when?
We come into the studio every week. That involves a bit of thought. And we get kebabs.
We do. To my mind, right, going out and having a kebab, that's us supporting the nighttime economy.
It's also supporting our hunger.
It is, but...
Well, no, it's supporting our stopping of hunger for ourselves.
It is. Now, the guy that runs Nazarba we went to this week, lovely, he served us within, about 30... He acknowledged us within 30 seconds.
No, it wasn't even that. It was about 3 seconds. I walk in and he goes,
you were best mates with him.
Hello. I know most... I'm not going to lie. I'm a fat bastard, and when I go out and about in the town, on the very rare occasion... You're not going to miss the big fat guy who's wearing a Hawaiian shirt with a giant ginger beard, are you?
You stick out a little bit. But you are clearly his friend. You have furnished him with much gold over the years, maybe some silver as well. He was like, Dave, I have not seen you in ages.
So I've not been in town for ages because, let's face it, I'm not in town that often because I haven't got a job.
But that was us supporting him.
And do you want to know, I even wrote a joke about this. What's ginger and shuffles?
You.
Me and a dole cue.
Hey! Should we jam in another widget before last orders then?
You want to jam it in?
No.
Yeah, come.
Oh God, that's going to be stuck in my head all night now, these fucking weirdos.
What, cum stuck in your head?
Oh,
I don't want to know that. I'm just sitting here going...
Right, read the widget. Read the bloody widget.
I'm sat here saying...
Read the widget.
Come.
Read
and you're saying
the
that's
widget.
stuck in your head. Right.
Yes, read the widget.
Widget.
If it's doing a fucking creepy ASMR video.
Not quite.
That I'm saying
but
no.
I will be honest. Okay, right. Widget make poutine. It's Canadian style chips, cheese and gravy. And eat it for a $5.
I don't like cheese. So that's problem number
But
one.
this is what you can make. You make it. You're not getting served it. You make it so you can make it into whatever you like.
So hang on a second. I make chips, cheese and gravy for a $5.
And eat it.
I feel like there's a hidden catch here.
No. There is a second part though, but...
Oh, there's a shock.
So, for the $5, would you eat your own poutine?
Now that sounds menacing.
It's not. There's nothing to this, right? Just yes or no.
I don't like cheese, so I'm going to say no, but what does part 2 entail? Can I swap out the cheese?
No. Well, you can, because you're making it. So what would you swap the cheese for then? Bacon?
Yes.
Right. So chips, gravy and bacon.
Yeah.
So we'll call it Martyn poutine, right?
Oh, God.
So would you make poutine, which is Canadian style chips, cheese and gravy, replace the cheese with bacon
Yeah.
and eat it for a $5?
Yeah.
Right. Part 2. For £1 billion, would you make the poutine as per above, but you add your own piss, your own shit, and your own cum, and eat the whole thing?
Chips, jizz and poutine is what you're saying.
No, I'm basically saying you'd make poutine with your own piss, shit, and cum.
You see, already I can imagine places on Belmont Street selling this as chips, jizz and bacon.
Look, I'm going to be honest. Why is it every kebab shop in Aberdeen are always smiling? It's because they serve so much cum. Would you do it or not?
Not a fucking chance.
It's £1 billion.
No.
Billion.
No.
£1 billion.
No. I know how much $1 billion is.
Yeah, but it's your own. Put it this: if it was somebody else's piss, shit,
Still
and cum,
no.
your own piss, shit, and cum. You
No.
know what you eat.
That's what worries me.
You know what your jizz tastes. Well, I don't know if you know what your jizz tastes like.
No,
You
I
might.
definitely don't.
I don't know.
I definitely don't.
And you know what you drink for piss.
Lots of Iron Brew and Sprite. Still no.
Right, but it might taste like Iron Brew and Sprite. You know, it's like when you eat sugar puffs, then the next morning you go for a piss.
Oh no,
and
not
it
this
stinks
again.
of sugar puffs.
No.
So there's just
Just
no
no.
way. For £1 billion, you wouldn't eat chips with cheese and bacon and gravy or whatever it is that you want in it. But £1 billion, you wouldn't eat your own piss, shit, and cum.
Not even if it was supersized.
Fuck, I'd do it.
Wid Yi.
We've had Stevie McWilliam get in touch with us.
Oh, Stevie McWilliam.
Stevie McWilliam.
Do you think he's hiding behind the fake name?
Could he be William McStevie?
Or Stevie McStevie face?
Stevie McStevie or William McWilliam face?
Willie McWillie face.
Whatever your name is, thank you for your widget. And he asks the question, would you drink a pint of Guinness with a turd in it? You don't need to drink the turd, just the Guinness for £400.
I mean, the problem is, if that's been festering in the Guinness, it's going to start breaking down, isn't it?
Well, as if it's been left in there to fester. I genuinely think, right? Stevie, I've got a question for you here, first off. Is this one solid piece shit, or is this a diarrhea like milkshake, and then we put the Guinness on it, in which case it's impossible to drink the Guinness without taking the shit. So, are we talking it's like a very healthy, dry, long log? It's probably half doner kebab.
Oh, no.
You know, I'm not talking like a Guinness shit where we've all had the Guinness shits.
It's been a while.
Where it's like some sort of like the inside of a bloody steak and gravy pie. It's unpleasant, to be honest with you.
Yep, I remember it kind of
So
not so fondly.
So I'm going to go with the assumption here, right? This is one solid piece totally, and it's sticking outside your pint like a flake.
One shit to roll the ball.
I'll tell you something, that's a Guinness moustache I could do without.
Oh, God.
Could you imagine that? You've got a pint with a pint glass with a shit in it. Then you get the barman to fill up the... Actually, wouldn't you like to meet the barman that would just go, can you fill that up with Guinness? Aye, nay bother. He would have to question, why is there shit in that glass?
The worrying thing would be if the barman then tried to follow follow that up with a shot of aftershock or apple sours.
You're going to need like a whole bottle of tequila to get rid of the taste of this thing if you do it.
But is it tequila or is it something else?
Oh, what, cow piss?
Yeah.
It could be cow piss. But imagine that you've got the shit and you're having to balance it on your nose as you're drinking the Guinness, and I don't actually want to think, is there going to be chunks in this moustache or...
There'd be some wanker in London who'd still be like, well, I detect notes of cucumber and...
Christmas pudding. Is it actually not? It's a shite. Have we just invented the new Heston Blumenthal of cocktails? We're going to call it a turd Guinness.
Wid Yi.
While we're in the subject of shut down swimming pools in Aberdeen...
I thought you were going to do a Sean Connery there, like, swimming pools and shit.
Swimming pools and shit.
Swimming pools and shit, Miss Moneypenny.
Do you need armbands if you shit a floater in a swimming pool?
How would Sean Connery have talked about, like, sitting in the uptown baths? Oh, yes, I was shitting in the uptown baths.
He was shitting in the uptown baths, and then he had a shit and a shave in the shower.
There's something there. Is it,
I hope Sean
Chewing
Connery...
the fat. Remember Ronald Villiers had that whisper. It was meant to be like Sean Connery.
No, it was... Walt Disney's Snow-Eating Seven Dwarfs. Is that whistly? I'm having a standard seat when I'm speaking to Sean Connery.
Close.
It was the phone's ringing. He's nervous. He goes, "Oh, sit." No, I'm just saying there. Back to Sean Connery in the shower. I hope he didn't shit in the... Well, maybe in his old age he shat in the shower.
Possibly, but he'd then be paying carers to come in and go, "It's all right, James," because they're obviously calling James to humour him.
He said, "It's all right.
It's all right.
I've just shat in the shower." I used to play in bands back in the time. Well, we had a gig out at Wood End Barn in Bankery.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't say who it was in case, because it's an embarrassing story, but he didn't turn up for the gig on time.
Okay.
So we were already at that point 20 minutes late for starting, and we scraped together the first half of the show for this wedding, which we got by on okay. Fine, great. Go backstage for half-time for a cup of tea, a wee gab and a wee individual fruit trifle, as we always did. Actually, it was a plate of stovies and a slice of wedding cake. But
slightly more disappointing than the individual fruit trifles.
I don't know. Some of these wedding cakes were pretty special. But, by the by, there was the guy who didn't turn up for the band. And we said, "Where the hell have you been?" And he just came out and he said, "Look, I had my shower before the gig, I sneezed in the shower and I shat myself."
No.
He did. Apparently it was this massive log that was at his feet. This massive log at his feet, which he tried to break with the pressure of his shower, but he said he had an electric shower, so the pressure was that of your granny's pish. It wasn't exactly a very, very relaxing shower.
They
it was
weren't
just
very good.
No, they're still not very good. So how did he get rid of it without actually picking it up? He kicked it over to the drain and he dug into it with his heel to try and put it down the drain as best he can. Then he scrubbed his feet. Then he cleaned the bath because he knew his wife would go absolutely apeshit. How he didn't block the drain, I don't know. And in his hair trap, was there a chunk of sweet corn?
Oh, God.
I don't know. So, is it ever socially acceptable to shit in a shower, I ask you?
If you're not Sean Connery, probably not.
Thanks for listening.
Would you do us a favour and check back again next week?
And don't forget to find and like us on the socials.
Wid Yi.